Tonight we have in a young lady from up around, where are you at exactly?
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
From around the Nashville area. We speak tonight with Bryce Hitchcock on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. Bryce, what kind of music do you make?
I make indie pop rock music. I have a lot of different influences, though, because I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. So there's also some jazz elements, some blues elements, some folk elements. I like to kind of throw a bunch of things in the pot and see what comes out.
How long have you been making music?
I've been really focusing on music for about 2 years now, but I've been doing music since I was born, pretty much, in some capacity.
So from early on, music has always been a part of your life. So it was always just a matter of when you were going to start making your own music as opposed to if.
Yes.
And you've fallen into the indie pop realm. You've got a few songs together. In fact, you've gone and traveled to go play your music as well.
Yeah, I've also been over to the UK and Ireland. I've actually been recording a lot of my music in Ireland, which is really cool.
We're going to talk about some of your travels tonight, where all you've been, the music that you've made, and we're even going to let you break out the guitar and do a couple of songs for us a little bit later on, too, as we get to know more about Bryce Hitchcock tonight on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. Calling the Nashville area home and calling indie pop her, leading choice of music, although there are quite a few other influences. We've got Bryce Hitchcock in with us tonight on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. You have just gotten back from traveling.
Yes.
Where were you at most recently?
Most recently, I was in Los Angeles for a bit of time. I performed down in Manhattan Beach over there, which was fun. And then I had to go to Atlanta for a quick trip, and then finally came back home right in the middle of all the CMA Fest in Bonnaroo, all the craziness that's been happening there. So, did
you get a chance to play at any of those? Or?
Yeah, I got a chance to play up in Nashville at BB King's, which was fun, being able to be a part of it. And there's so many people there who are happy to support music, so it was cool to be able to meet some new fans. And
you have traveled to other places, too. I think earlier we were talking about you've gone overseas, spent some time in the Emerald Isle.
Yes.
You were in Ireland. What were you doing in Ireland?
I've actually been recording my music there. I met a producer there through one of my contacts in Nashville, actually. And we just decided to try working with them. And we just really clicked. And I've been going there ever since. We're actually about to make a trip again in a week to go back over there and make a full album, which I'm really excited about. Because up until now, I've been doing EPs. So I'm excited to kind of do my first official album.
How many EPs do you have under your belt?
I believe, I have 2 released, I think. And then I think I have a third one hidden away somewhere.
The secret tapes, you're holding on to that so that later on in your career, you can be kind of, oh, it's the lost EP.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, I get the strategy. I understand how it works. We've talked about you recording in Ireland. Some guy that you knew passed off your music, and they just went, oh, come on over to Ireland. And
yep, basically.
Is that blowing your mind that you've gotten to this point? Or?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. But we're always looking for an excuse to travel anyway, so I'm happy to go over there. And it's a really cool environment over there. The people are really great. There's actually a lot of great musicians there, which haven't been discovered over here yet. So it's really cool to be over there.
You've been making serious music for the last couple of years.
Yes.
And you've gotten this opportunity. Do you just think it's going too fast, or do you look at it and go, it's right on time? Or
I think it's happening on time. I believe that, when things are supposed to happen, they're going to happen, and if they aren't supposed to happen, you can't make it happen. So I'm very kind of go with the flow person. And
does that come across in your songwriting too?
Yeah, I think so. When I'm songwriting, it definitely I'll have moments of inspiration. I'll write 5 songs in one day, and then I'll have breaks. And I think you can't really force something to happen. So I think that's a good life motto for me.
What about Be My Memory? Is that one of those songs that just kind of came at the right time?
Yeah, this one I actually wrote with Tom Peterson, who's with Cheap Trick, actually, which is really crazy. We met through a mutual friend at NAMM, which is the National Association of Music Merchants. It's a convention that is in Los Angeles and Nashville. And we met there, and we got to talking, and we actually kind of became good friends, and we wrote this song together. And yeah, so it just kind of crazy stuff happens.
So a memory-making song.
Yes.
That's it for us. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll let you get the guitar and we'll play this now. It's Be My Memory on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7.
Be my memory, be my memory. Never thought it would end like this, now I see. Kept you locked in my mind, now I've lost the key. So now you'll always be my memory. Be my memory, be my memory. Yeah, we rolled up our sleeves so we could breathe. And we dust ourselves off when we'd bleed. Now my scars will be my memory. Be my memory. And there's nothing to say to make it okay. So we'll live in the past and make it last while we go our separate ways. Be my memory, be my memory, be my memory, be my memory.
We are discussing songwriting and music making tonight with Bryce Hitchcock on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. Bryce, you have gone overseas. We talked about you recording some stuff in Ireland. You've gotten the opportunity to go there. You're going back there. You've had a chance to write a song with the bassist for Cheap Trick, Tom Peterson. Who else have you had the opportunity to work with?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to work with some really incredible people. A lot of talented writers. I wrote Band-Aid actually with Summer Overstreet, who's an incredible writer. I've written a lot of songs with Michelle Weiss, and she has placements in pretty much every TV show you can think of. I've written with Robert Wolf, who's an incredible writer in Nashville also. I don't even know half of the people I've worked with. It's kind of a blur, but I feel really fortunate that people have given me the chance to kind of try it out with them, and that even when I was younger, especially because I'm only 18 now, when I was younger, the people gave me the chance and didn't just look down on me because I was 16 at the time. So yeah, I'm really fortunate to be able to have these experiences. And
I think you said that you've gotten the chance to play up at like BB King's, and you've been a part of the music scene up around the Nashville area.
Yes.
And it seems the reception's been pretty good as far as inviting you in and giving you the chance. Have you also had the opportunity to not just work with some of these songwriters, but to actually push your songs to other people?
I haven't yet. I'm actually looking into possibly placing some of my songs with other artists, because I love writing, and sometimes a song isn't a fit for me, but I'm always happy to help out other artists too, and as much as I possibly can.
You said you lean towards the indie pop area. You also have jazz influences and a few other types of music that come into play. So given that idea, who would be the ideal artist to sing your music?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I tend to like a lot of the John Mayer, Ed Sheeran stuff, so that kind of thing would be cool. Honestly, I'd be really honored for anyone, any big person like that to sing my music. I also write some pop songs and stuff that, like a Katy Perry or something could do. So yeah, that any one of those, feel free to hit me up.
Any one of those names. Yeah, just go ahead, hit her up. She's on the Twitter there. Yep. She's on the Facebook.
I'm all over.
And just, anytime that you're ready,
I'm here.
You get an opening in the schedule. More ideally, though, you just sing your own songs. Mm-hmm. We've talked about you've got EPs that you've put together. You're in the process of writing for your album. How many songs total do you have?
I have a lot. I'd say, I think the last time I checked, I had like 50 or something stacked up that I hadn't even recorded yet, which is crazy. I try to write a lot as much as possible. I've got some stashed away.
Well, we'll talk about how you get to the songwriting part, what elements come into play there. Plus, you've got another song that you're going to do for us, too.
Yes.
So we will get to that. We'll have more of our conversation tonight with Bryce Hitchcock on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. She's gone from wanting to make music to, getting a pretty good start at already making her music. We've got Bryce Hitchcock in with us tonight on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. Say hi, Bryce.
Hello.
She is really just kind of getting her footing in the whole music business as far as making her own. I think you've been doing the songwriting part, having the chance to write with other people. Mm-hmm. But as far as getting to performance, getting called out to perform?
Yeah, I've actually been performing a lot in Nashville recently, and I also have played in Atlanta and in Los Angeles because I actually was out there for a while. So I performed while I was out there, and just trying to get out and play as many places as I can to kind of spread the word. I've played in the Carolinas, again across in the UK. I played when I was over there in London and in Ireland. So yeah, just trying to get my name out there, and I love performing, so I have no problem doing that.
Well, you said originally that music has always been something that you were involved with from early on. So is your family very musical, or?
Yeah, none of them were in the music business, but my parents both just love music, and they've always had it around in some form or another. And I was a very, very weird kid, so to kind of get me involved in something other than reading and stuff, they had me take violin class. I was 3, I think, and then moved on to piano, and then that eventually turned into guitar, which is a lot more portable than a piano, thank goodness.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I also, I started singing somewhere along that path, and I actually did a lot of work with some labels in Nashville doing different projects for various artists, like choir stuff and background vocals, all that kind of thing.
What was the very first project you had a chance to be a part of?
I'm not even sure I remember. I think it was I know for sure there's one that I did with, it was Amy Grant, and it was for a VeggieTales thing, which was really cool, because I used to watch that a lot as a kid. And so that was a lot of fun. Weird things have been happening, and
once the doors started opening, they just kept opening up for you, and you kind of snowballed from there. And we're to the point now where you're just like, I can't even believe I'm going through all this. It's too awesome to just sit back. And so the songwriting, having gone from getting a chance to work on a project with Amy Grant early on to the point that it is now over the last few years, would you say you've evolved? Oh,
yeah, I definitely think I've evolved. I think through writing, I also found kind of my voice and like what kind of artist I wanted to be. And also it gave me a chance to express myself. I started writing when I was, I think, 11, and I wrote my first song with Michelle Weiss. I was really frustrated because I was young, and a lot of the songs at the time were kind of inappropriate for my age. So I decided I'd start writing my own stuff so it would be appropriate. And then I just fell in love with it. And it's really great for me because it's kind of a catharsis. And also I get to kind of write about things that can help other people too.
Goes back to the basic concept of write what you know.
Yeah.
And so you kind of tailored it to that. And since then it's grown, and you've gotten, as we said earlier, about 50 songs or so.
Yes.
Pretty good library to work from there.
Yeah.
In fact, we heard one of them earlier. How about if we get to another one now?
Sounds
Wildflower.
Good.
How did that come about?
This one, actually, I literally saw Wildflower and because it was like the start of spring. And this one actually hasn't been recorded yet. Yeah, so this was basically about nature and also about just kind of a relationship-y issue. not my personal one.
Right.
But I also take a lot of what I do from fiction. So I read a lot. I watch a lot of TV. And because I'm so young, I haven't personally been in a lot of relationships, or any actually. But I can write about them. So this was kind of partially from something I read in a book, and also that inspiration from the wildflower that I saw.
It all comes together, and it gives us something I love to say that we have. It is an exclusive tonight with Bryce Hitchcock on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. It's Wildflower.
You always gave me roses, but that was never my style. More like a dandelion, blown away by some wishing child. Wild and free, through the breeze I'd float happily. But you see what you wanna see, and I know it's not me. So pick me a wildflower, sing me your heart song. I'll show you spring's powers, even in the fall. An image of perfection was clouding your mind. You never noticed my thorns till they were poking at your side. Wild and free, through the breeze I'd float happily. But you see what you wanna see, and I know it's not me. So pick me a wildflower, sing me your heart song. I'll show you spring's powers, even in the fall. Always gave me roses, but that was never my style. So pick me a wildflower, sing me your heart song. I'll show you spring's powers, even in the fall. So pick me a wildflower, yeah.
Tonight we've been having a conversation with Bryce Hitchcock on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7. Up and comer, on her way to bigger things and bigger countries too. Well, not really bigger, I guess. Ireland's probably a little bit smaller than us, but still, you're off to the Emerald Isle. I think we talked about you're going to go work on your album there.
Yes.
How many songs going on the album?
I believe 10 or 12. We're still narrowing a couple of them down because, again, big list to choose from.
And you do have a couple of EPs already.
Yes,
so
I do.
They can get access to your music. Where can they find you online?
They can find me on my website, brycehitchcock.com. They can also find me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Bryce Hitchcock Official. Twitter and Instagram, it's at Bryce Hitchcock. And you can find me on iTunes, too, if you're trying to buy my music by just looking up my name.
Hit up her website. It's got links to all of that.
Yes, my website has everything.
I like to aim for one central place. In your case, I guess it's going to be the website.
Yes.
So keep up there. And you do post things as far as where you're playing at,
Yes.
the photos and all of that is online, and Facebook.
All there, yep.
Facebook's a good place to go for that as well. But
Yes.
mainly just hit up her website and definitely go get her EPs. When will the album be? I know you're just getting ready to have her record. Do you have a timetable?
Probably be around the first of the year-ish. we'll see, I guess.
Just in time for Christmas.
Yay!
Yay! Well, thank you so much, Bryce, for coming in to talk with us. I appreciate the conversation.
Thank you.
It's been a conversation tonight with Bryce Hitchcock on the 9 o'clock news local edition here on Rock 93.7.